This video is sponsored by Foreo. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Handyman Graham, and today we're coming at you with part 2 of the DIY home tasks that were the most requested tasks that I was hired to do when I was working for TaskRabbit. We looked in the comments of the last video and we saw all the different suggestions that people wanted to see for part 2. So hopefully we've incorporated some of those tasks that you guys requested in this episode. Hopefully with part 2, I'm gonna teach you how to do these tasks at home so you don't need to hire anyone to do it for you. So we're gonna start off strong and we're gonna jump right into the number 1 most requested task, which was how to change a light. Okay, we're at the office and I'm gonna change this ceiling light fixture. This is a super easy thing to do in your own home. You need almost no tools to do this. I think the only tools I'm gonna be using, simple screwdriver. I also have an electrical tester. I think you can pick these up for like as little as 20 bucks. And I use this on every single makeover that I do with Alexandra. Whenever we do anything electrical, I always test. It beeps to tell you there's danger. When it doesn't beep, there's no danger. So it's a super approachable tool that I think everybody should have in their toolbox. The very first step we gotta do is make sure that the electricity is off to the light fixture. Now, you can simply do that at the switch, right? If the light bulb isn't on, that means there's no electricity there. However, in your electrical receptacle in the ceiling, there could be other live wires in there, and we want to avoid any sort of chance of danger. So we're gonna jump over to the fuse box and we're gonna turn off the electricity so that there's no danger here. So here's the big panel here. So it does have some paper with some like rooms scribbled on it, but I see kitchen, split, kitchen, kitchen light, washer, bathroom, kitchen, split, kitchen, 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 oven, oven. We don't have an oven here. This panel is extremely outdated from like whenever this was someone's apartment. So if you're working on your computer, if you got some hard drives going, be sure to turn off everything, save all your files before you do this because we're gonna turn off the power to multiple breakers and we'll probably turn off some computers. Ready? Damn it. This is a great opportunity to update your fuse box. If you got some tape and a permanent marker, you can write what each switch is doing as you're turning them off. Number 4, kitchen light, living room plus kitchen light. Let's go. That was the wrong room. Okay, number 6. Oh, God. Okay, 8. Maybe 8 washer. Nope. I've definitely turned off their computers.
No, just go for it now.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now we got the power off. I'm gonna open the new light and make sure that we have everything we need. Okay, so we got the faceplate, the ceiling mount, the electrical cable. Ooh, like a glass bowl. This is kind of like what we found at the dwarf store.
Oh yeah.
That's very pretty. Okay, so what we're gonna need, we don't actually need all that much stuff. That's what's so great about this, is like usually light fixtures give you everything you need. So whenever I change a light fixture, I always replace the morettes or the wire nuts or whatever you call them. It's just like a good practice. Usually, you know, you're only changing a light fixture probably every couple years or longer. And these plastic or ceramic wire nuts age and they get brittle. So I always just want to like replace them whenever you change a light fixture. Okay, so I'm just gonna separate the faceplate from the mounting bracket. Now that I know I have everything I need to install the new light, I'm gonna remove the old light. I mean, every single light fixture is different, but they'll generally always have a faceplate that kind of conceals all the electrical stuff. All right, so now that I have the light fixture down, I'm just gonna double check, make sure there's no electricity on. No beeping, so we are safe. So I'm just removing these old wire nuts. I'm just gonna put them back on temporarily just to cover those live wires. Some more like safety measures, just avoid touching any exposed copper wire. Okay, so the next step is to install this faceplate. The new light fixture gave us some new screws and this new faceplate. You generally want to use the faceplate that each light fixture comes with because there's so many different types of them. So I'm just going to pull these wires down a little bit, and we know that there's no electricity going to these wires, so I can kind of grab them. I'm just going to screw these in with my hand for the time being, just to hold it, and then I can go in with my screwdriver. Light fixtures are really easy to swap out, but anything on the ceiling takes twice as long because it's just so much more awkward to kind of look up and do everything above your head rather than in front of your face. I don't know. That's just what I've noticed. So the faceplate, we just want it to be kind of flush with the ceiling. Again, it's dependent on your light fixture. Everything's different and depending where you are in the world too. So we got 3 wires. We got white, black, and the exposed copper wire. This is your ground wire. So every faceplate comes with a ground terminal. So your ground wire for your light fixture and in your electrical receptacle have to be grounded to the faceplate. So we have our faceplate on the wire. We're not gonna put the glass on yet because that's too heavy. So you have like one of 2 options. You can either cut the wire, or if you have enough space in your junction box, you can just coil it in the ceiling. So the way I remember the colors for everything is you'd think white hot, you know, like white hot is like really hot. No, I think hot black coffee. That's what I always just remind myself, like the black wire is hot. Black hot, coffee's hot, black wire means that there's electricity there. White is your neutral wire, and copper or green is your ground, and green, ground, grass is green. Is that a bit of a stretch? I don't know. That's how I just remember. So black is hot, white is neutral, ground is green. So now that we have the ceiling mount on the ceiling, now it's time to prep the light fixture so that we can wire it all together. All right, so we have our new morettes here. We have our black and our white wire. I'm sure people in Australia are gonna be like, mate, it's blue and brown, or whatever. What is this black and white business? Okay.
Is this standard to North America only?
Yeah. Okay, so this is a nut. So we're just gonna put that wire next to the other wire, and we're gonna screw everything together. You can test it, see that's not screwed together. So I'm gonna try one more time. There we go. You can just tug it. It's nice and safe. Then I'm gonna do the black wire. Okay, this is actually a good point. There's different sizes of morettes. So this one is just a little too small. We have 2 black wires because all these lights are kind of wired in sequence. We've got 2 black wires, plus we're adding a 3rd wire, and it's just too many wires for this tiny moret that the light fixture came with. So I just have a bag of morettes I always have on hand, and I'm just gonna select a new, larger one. Here's a big one. I don't know if you can see the difference, but I'm gonna use the bigger one. When you're using a moret, you don't want any exposed copper from the black or white cables because it could nick part of the metal in the box or another wire, and it could cause a grounding issue. Okay, we got the big moret, and I'm just gonna secure that. That's good. I'm just gonna push everything back into the box. All right, I'm just gonna try to get rid of some of this extra electrical cable. We have one more wire, and that is our ground wire. So we have our copper here, and I'm just going to secure this around this screw the best you can. Oh God. All right. I'm just gonna screw this so everything's nice and secure. Then I can put the faceplate back. We've got our little screws, and I'm just gonna kind of put them in with my screwdriver. Okay, there we go. Just make sure the faceplate is nice and flush to the ceiling. Okay, obviously you want to adjust the height of the cable so you don't smack your head every single time you walk underneath it. Okay, then you can get a nice decorative bulb. I think this one's probably too big. It's definitely too big. Insert the bulb. All right, it's time to turn the power back on. Yay! That's it. Pretty easy, straightforward. Every light also comes with instructions, so if you ever get lost, you can watch this video or you can follow the instructions that the light fixture gives you. All right, should we move on to the next task? All right, let's go. Okay guys, for this next hack, you know I love new tools, tech and different home hacks. So I'm really excited to share with you the FAQ 202 by Foreo that I've been using lately. This LED mask is for everybody and has clinically proven benefits of anti-aging and longevity. A bunch of my friends have LED therapy masks and have been trying to get me on the hype train for quite a while now. As I've been getting older, I've been noticing my skin change because I'm outside quite a bit, running and just generally lounging in the sun. The FAQ 202 helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles, as well as make my skin tone look more even with less sunspots. It has 8 different wavelengths, including near infrared, to tackle any of your skin concerns. I like to put on the FAQ red light peptide serum before using the mask because it's specifically made to optimize LED performance with photoreactive active ingredients. To use the mask, all you need to do is secure it with this strap, press the button to turn it on, choose the treatment you want, and then use it for up to 15 minutes. I love that the mask is lightweight and wireless, so I can do things around my house and multitask. I've tried other masks and I find that they're just extremely bulky, and I usually have to stay in one location because you have to plug them in, and they just don't work for me. But with the FAQ 202, I'm able to walk around my house freely. I've been using the mask for a couple weeks now, and I can tell you that my skin already looks so good. If you'd like to check out the FAQ 202 and other Foreo bestsellers, be sure to click the link in my description box, and don't forget to use the code GRAHAM30 for an additional 30% off almost all Foreo products. This code also applies to already discounted items. But be sure to act fast because this code expires in 30 days and the deals end soon. Okay, time for the next hack. Okay guys, we're at Amanda's place, and the DIY hack that I'm gonna show you is how to clean your dishwasher. And this is really important if you have a dishwasher. No matter how new your dishwasher is, sometimes you like put dishes and cups in there and they always come out dirty. I'm gonna show you how to get your dishwasher nice and clean so that your dishes come out clean every single time. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is remove the racks. The bottom one comes out super easy, so I'm just gonna put that aside. The top one has these little plastic stoppers here, so we're just gonna lift up and out. So different dishwashers will have like different mechanisms that prevent the top rack from pulling out, so it's just manufacturer depending. So let's see here. Okay, so here we have a coarse filter, and there's arrows on it, close and open, so counterclockwise. Oh god.
Ew.
All your nice clean rinse water is going through that filter, so you're getting, I don't even know what that is. No offense to anyone.
No offense to anyone.
Yeah, no offense to Amanda. So you have your wash and your rinse cycle, right? So all that clean, you need that clean rinse water. Dishwashers are very energy efficient and water efficient. It recycles the water. And so all that clean water is going through this filter and it's ending up on your clean cups and your plates. This is what causes a lot of the nastiness that you find in your dishwasher. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this right in the sink. If you really wanna go further, you can take this off. This just pops out. May as well clean that. You can see there's all sorts of like nasty black tar-like substance. So all the water comes in contact with all this stuff. It depends on the make and model of your dishwasher. There could be screws, there could be a nut, there could be just snaps or something. So I'm gonna put these screws aside. Let's see. So this, I know, this is a little extreme, and I'm sure you weren't expecting this when cleaning your dishwasher, but everything is intended to be taken apart and cleaned. Now that we have all this removed, this is probably as far as we're gonna go. All this nastiness, no offense Amanda, is coming into contact.
You have to stop saying that. It's so gross.
Okay.
It just needs to be clean.
It just needs to be cleaned, yeah. I'm just gonna soak everything with some dish soap, just to try to loosen everything up. Probably let it sit for a couple minutes while we're cleaning the rest of the dishwasher, and then when we're done with that, you can come back and put everything back in. Alright, so I got this little scrub brush I got at the dollar store. I'm just gonna put some water on it, and I'm just gonna go to town.
What's that water that's in there?
Just nasty. Just nasty stale water.
Is there always still water there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So while I have the scrub brush out, I'm just gonna kind of scrub all the nooks and crannies. I don't know if you can see by the door seal here. There's some black crud. So I'm just gonna scrub that. And you don't wanna use any like harsh chemicals, so I'm just using dish soap. It's food safe. I'm just using this water, like I'm gonna do a nice rinse after. So I'm just using this to get all the black crud off the brush.
How often do you think I should be doing this now that I know that?
I don't know, maybe like, depends how you use your dishwasher. Like if you're like me and you just like load it up with all the food on it and stuff, then probably like once a month.
Yeah.
if you like do like a little pre-rinse, then maybe like once a year.
It looks so sparkling. Do you think I should do like run a cycle without anything in it?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll run it after we put everything back together. And I'm just cleaning the filter. Okay, so we have everything cleaned. I'm just gonna put everything back together in the reverse order of operations that we did to remove it. So I'm gonna start with putting this piece back in. Kind of just. And then we have this beautifully cleaned filter, and that is just gonna sit clockwise, righty-tighty to close. And now, because we still have a lot of that old water that we used to clean the dishwasher, I'm just gonna run a quick cycle, maybe 2 minutes or less, just to get the water to suck through that filter. Then we're gonna remove that filter one more time, rinse it, and we're good to go. And we're just gonna let it fill and then just run a little bit just to clean all the debris and then bring it to the filter.
Nice.
Okay, pro tip for you guys is that if you find that no matter how much you clean your dishwasher, there's a little stale puddle of water left at the bottom of your dishwasher, it means it's not draining properly. So it could either be that the filters are clogged, but more likely than not, it's because whoever installed the dishwasher didn't install it properly. And there's a drain hose that goes behind the dishwasher and it connects to the kitchen sink drain. And that hose needs to go up to the bottom of the countertop before it connects to the drain. So if your hose is laying on the ground flat and then it goes up to the drain, that pump can't actually pump that water up to the drain. It has to go up and then down. So if you find that your hose is just laying on the ground, just take a little nail or like a thumbtack or something, just stick the thumbnail on the back of the inside of your cabinet, drape that hose around there, and I guarantee you your dishwasher will drain every single time.
Yeah, mine is correct.
Yeah, Amanda's is correct right now. What? Look at this.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take this out. We can see there's just some residual stuff here. So I'm just gonna give this a quick rinse. This is a fantastic spring cleaning activity. Okay, now we're just gonna put it back in.
It's clean.
Okay,
Thank you.
on to the next task. Okay, so next up on our DIY home tasks, can you guess what the task is gonna be based on these two items? It's gonna be unclogging a toilet, and I kid you not, working for TaskRabbit, I would get called to people's houses to unclog a toilet. There is a method, most people don't know about it. There are so many different products out there that unclog toilets. I picked up these two from the dollar store. We've got one here in the office that has an ergonomic handle. There's just like so many different types. You can even get like a gas compressor one that you like jam in the hole and it shoots gas down the pipe. There's also a thing called a snake. So Toby, can you pull up a photo of a snake for me? Okay, not that one. The other type of snake? Okay, not that one. This type of snake. No, you know, because he'll put like image of a snake on the screen.
Yeah, but what's the second snake?
Another snake. It's called like a drain snake. It's meant for unclogging drains, not necessarily toilets. I wouldn't recommend using a snake for a toilet because you can scratch the ceramic and you can make a real mess, and you can even break the wax ring seal that's in the bottom of the toilet. So you don't want to use anything that you put inside the toilet unless a professional is brought in to do so. So we have your comically generic plunger in the center. This is a beautiful wood dowel stick with a real rubber plunger at the end. Option number 2, the ergonomic handle. It's Corky brand, so this is like your name brand. It's probably significantly more expensive than the dollar store one I got. This is rubber, but it's got like a trumpet base to it, so it creates a really nice seal. Then option 3, I also got from the dollar store. It's an accordion style. I think this costs like $3, but it's a solid plastic plunger. And so what this means is you're not gonna get like an airtight seal around the toilet, and that's what we absolutely need. Believe it or not, this is the plunger I recommend to everybody. So obviously this toilet is not clogged, but what I see a lot of people do is, let's say there's some debris floating on the surface here, that's totally fine. You just gotta kinda just jam that thing down there, regardless of what might be in the bowl. Another thing is, don't flush the toilet and like let the water rise up. We do need water in the bowl in order for the plunger to work. So you don't want the toilet overflowing, but you just want enough water so that it covers a quarter of the bowl maybe. The reason why I like this traditional style plunger is because it's rubber and it creates an airtight seal. It kind of molds to the shape of the toilet bowl. You don't want to like go to town on this. What you want to do is you want like a nice controlled rhythmic plunging motion. Once the clog is unclogged, you'll hear that the sound changes and then you can like flush and see if it works. But that's my like masterful pro tip on clogging toilets is a steady, slow, rhythmic pumping motion. Like you're almost like you're doing it to like a metronome. Okay, water's going down. Yeah, they didn't call me the toilet king for nothing. If you don't have a plunger, run to the dollar store, pick one up. Even on makeovers, we have an emergency plunger with us just in case. And you don't always need to go for the more expensive option because I don't think this design has changed at all in like the past 150 years. And there's a reason for that. Not today, you son of a bitch. Okay, we're back. We're upstairs in Alessandra's house. We are going to install a curtain rod. Different people have different personal preferences, how they want their curtains to look. Some curtains have ties, others have a channel where the curtain rod slides into. Some have both. The possibilities are kind of endless. A personal preference has a lot to do with how you want the curtains to look on the rod, but to put a rod on a wall is pretty straightforward. And I'll show you guys how to do that. These are the curtain rod brackets that we're using. Curtain rod brackets come in all shapes and sizes. The IKEA curtain rod brackets are the best because they're extendable. You can mount on the ceiling, on the wall. But these ones, we'll probably just put right here. These ones are like a nice brushed brass finish. Usually when I'm mounting stuff on a wall, I'll pull out the level, the laser level, I'll have my tape measure, and I'll make sure whatever I'm putting on the wall is perfectly level. But in my opinion, like you don't want to mount the curtain rod so that is perfectly level. Instead, we want to mount it relative to the window frame. If your window frame is slightly sloped, we're gonna kind of mimic that slope. This is just gonna kind of like tie everything together. So usually I'll put a curtain rod the same distance away, height-wise and sideways. So I'll use my tape measure and we'll do 2 inches. So I'm gonna mark 2 inches and 2 inches, and then it'll be right about there.
Great.
So then I'll just put a little mark right there on the wall. Right there is gonna be where we're gonna put it. I try to do as much stuff on this side of the window before moving to the other side because I don't wanna be jumping back and forth, going up and down the ladder. So I'll just pop this right here and I'm gonna mark the screw holes. Then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna do the same thing. Now, the issue that I come across sometimes is that in old houses, you know, the chances are that people have put curtain rods here like 50 times and you'll be able to tell. I'm putting this bracket exactly where there's a patch on the wall. I can see that patch from another point in time. So it's hard to say if we're going into a solid surface, so just kind of tap around. You want to make sure that those anchors are going into a solid surface, not a place that has been patched before. If it does line up in a spot that has been previously patched, just move the bracket over a little bit, make sure you're going into a new area. I would just remeasure and make sure that it's symmetrical on either side. So I'm just gonna mark screw holes. The issue that I always come across is that your windows are always going to be on an exterior wall. There's generally like insulation, brick, stone, whatever on the other side of it. So I always just get prepared. I always have a masonry drill bit handy that is the same size as our anchors so that if I have to go through stone or brick, then I'll be able to. But I'm just going to use just a regular drill bit to begin with. That worked without using the masonry drill bit. You're on camera, by the way. Same thing for the other side. And I'm hammering in the anchors with a hammer. And I'm using the screws that came with the anchors to secure the curtain rod brackets. Okay, you'll notice in some curtain rod kits, it comes with a third bracket as well. And you don't always need to use that. It's just for like really wide windows. And if you're using one rod, I think we're gonna be fine just using two. These are very lightweight curtains as well, so they're not gonna really make the curtain rod sag. Going over here to this end. Okay, so I am actually gonna use the third bracket. This rod doesn't have a lot of rod that overlaps. It's kind of making the rod sag a little bit. So rather than have a saggy rod, we're gonna put a third bracket in. But what we want is we want this third bracket to line up with the center of the window. Okay, so we're gonna put the curtains up now. Okay, we're gonna do an Alexandra Gator bow. This will just be like, so it's easy for the curtain to be taken off and cleaned if necessary. Just know that I can't do a bow that's as nice as hers. Nice. Okay, for this home task, we're gonna be mounting a picture. I found this at the thrift store. It's Max Verstappen, Red Bull fan art, I guess. Half of Team AG are big F1 fans, so if you wanna send us to an F1 race, all inclusive, first class, be my guest. That'd be amazing. But this is a task that is relatively straightforward. We mount pictures on walls for every single makeover, and every single picture that I probably have ever mounted, except if it comes from like Desenio or something, they're all mounted differently. So this one doesn't have any mounting hardware on it. So we're gonna throw some mounting hardware on here and then stick it up on the wall. Okay, this is an assorted wall hanging and frame hardware kit. These are awesome. Comes with some picture wire, hanging hardware, D-rings, picture hooks. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you can install a picture or a mirror on the wall, and it has everything to do with how much it weighs. And this is very light. This is just some canvas on some wood. But my favorite method is I always have 2 points of contact. Regardless if it's a 100-pound mirror or a small picture like this, the best results that I get are using 2 D-rings. You can use picture wire that goes across these 2 points of contact, or you can just use a tape measure and you just put 2 anchors on the wall, 2 D-rings, and I find that the picture sits the flattest and it looks the nicest on the wall when you use just the D-rings. So I'm just gonna mark the same point on both sides near the top of the frame. So we got 2.5 inches from the top of the frame on that side, and we're gonna do 2.5 on this side. Okay. So now that we have the D-rings on the back of the picture, we're gonna use our tape measure. We have 13.5 between the 2 D-rings. So we're gonna find the center of the wall. So 31.25, 15.5 is 31. 15, 5/8 times 2, 31.25.
Graham is doing mental math, but you can just use your phone.
You can just use your phone, yeah.
He's very good at mental math though, so but don't be intimidated by that.
Yeah, so this is my trick for you guys, is like trying to figure out where the center is of the picture and measuring your 2 points. What I do is I take my 6 3/4, I put the measurement right on the dot, 6 3/4 on our center mark. We use the tape measure, and I'm just kind of like scoring the wall. So it leaves a little bit of a mark. And then I'm gonna do it on the other side. So then 16 3/4, take the tape measure, put a little mark on the wall. So if you don't have a laser line, if your level isn't long enough to extend to both points, just grab the picture or something, and I'm just gonna mark where this line meets up. And over here, I'm just gonna make sure everything is nice and level. When I'm hanging pictures, I always want to use anchors. I don't really trust those little brass hook things with the nail. These are the brand Hillman. Drywall is very dusty, so I'm just putting a piece of paper up on the wall, and I'll fold it in half. Just a little piece of paper, an envelope will work, a Ziploc bag will work, but you just tape it to the wall, and when I drill, it just collects all the dust. So it just saves all this dust from ending up on your floor, carpet, couch, wherever you're mounting your picture. and I just want to hook it, boom. And then with this one, because it's closer, now I don't need to support the far side of it. Nice. Now, you just always want to double check, triple check, put a level up, and WTF, the bubble is not center. What this is saying is that somewhere along the way, I've made a mistake. And this side, the left side, is just a little bit too high. So like, oh my God, I gotta like do everything all over again. No, you don't need to do anything over again. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna undo this screw a little bit. And I'm just gonna encourage it to go down gently. You screw it back in. We're gonna try one more time. Okay, there. So it's in between the lines. And I'll take that. So out of the dozens of methods that exist out there for hanging a picture on a wall, this is my tried and true method. The picture has 2 points of contact, 2 anchors in the wall, 2 pieces of hardware on the back of the picture frame. I feel confident I can walk away and know that this isn't gonna fall off the wall.
And it looks good.
Yeah, and it looks good. Okay, so the next task that we're gonna do in my apartment is we're gonna install a bidet. This was probably, like I had different categories of TaskRabbit activities. The #1 toilet related activity was installing a bidet. So this video is not sponsored by Tushy, but Tushy has done a great job with their marketing. Like I see them everywhere and they look good. The installation is so easy and straightforward. The beautiful thing about toilets and about plumbing in general is that there's like standard sizes of hoses, connections, and so if you buy a bidet, all the pieces are the same size. There's no like fussing about with like getting adapters or like, you know, when you bought a Tushy that you could probably do it yourself, but we're a little scared to do it. Well, hopefully this is like a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it yourself and not be scared. So this is the only tool that you guys need, is just a wrench, pair of pliers could even work, a vice grip. The first thing you gotta do is turn off your water. Usually there's a handle on these turn-off valves. For some reason this one is missing. I think this is really old, so I'm just gonna use some pliers and I'm just gonna turn it off. Oh, there it goes. If you guys are unsure if your water's off, I'm just gonna flush. I can hear the toilet refilling. And I'm gonna turn it until I don't hear anymore. And now that water is off 100% because the tank is empty. The toilet wants to refill itself, but it can't. We're gonna loosen this with our fingertips. Righty-loosey, because we're going upside down. I'm gonna take this hose all the way off. So I'm gonna screw this piece onto the piece that Tushy supplied. Everything is hand tight. And then I'm gonna take the hose that Tushy supplied and I'm gonna screw that into here. It's plastic, so you wanna make sure that you aren't stripping the teeth. Don't force the hose onto this plastic piece because you could damage the threads. Then we're gonna screw this back into the bottom of the toilet. This is a hand tight connection, so no need to use a wrench or anything. There's a rubber gasket. Just kind of tighten it the best you can with your hands. Okay, so that is the connection to the wall, and the next thing we gotta do is install the bidet. This is the easy part. This is also the gross part too. I've never taken this toilet seat off this toilet before, and guaranteed you guys probably haven't either. And while your toilet seat may look clean, when you take it off, it may be another story. So all you need is a screwdriver, and just be prepared for some grossness, but just have like a cloth ready. This is not a reflection of who I am when I use the bathroom, and I wouldn't judge you either. This is just years of people using the bathroom and dust and stuff like that.
You're really building it up. Graham is a very clean person, just so everyone knows.
See? Immediately that's... But yeah, I would assume like this toilet seat's probably like 20 years old. And think of the installing a bidet as an excuse to clean your toilet seat. Also, just put it in the shower, scrub it down, and then you'll have peace of mind knowing disgusting. And then you want to lift this up, and we're just going to put that straight into the tub. All right, so now we have our blank slate. And before we do anything, we gotta connect this hose that Tushy supplied to the Tushy itself. So I'm just hand tightening it. You don't wanna tighten it too much, but I'm just gonna tighten it just a little bit more. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then we can put it in place. And then these things rotate depending on your toilet model so that those holes will always kind of line up. And we're just gonna put the toilet bolts through these slots just like you would with your toilet. This tushy is just being sandwiched in between the seat and the toilet. Boom.
The shot is just your eyes moving back and forth.
Grab our screwdriver and just wanna tighten it a little bit more. There. Okay, I'm gonna turn the water back on. Before I do, I'm gonna flush. I'm gonna dry up all the water, okay? And I'm gonna slowly open the water. Okay, it's open. And the toilet is filling. And then what I like to do as a little safety precaution is I put some nice dry toilet paper underneath our connections, and I'll do the same under the tushy, right underneath where the hose connects, and we'll come back in a couple minutes and we'll see if there's any drips. Okay, that's how you install a bidet on your toilet. It is so straightforward. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 steps involved total. Yeah, it's just super straightforward, super easy, very approachable. Just keep in mind, you wanna make sure that water is off before you start and the water is on after you finish. You don't wanna be doing your business to discover you forgot to turn the water back on. But anyways, check for leaks, put some paper towel underneath your hoses back behind your toilet, routinely check in on them, make sure there's no leaks, and you should be good to go. So hopefully this inspired you guys to install one in your own place. Okay, we're in Alessandra's kitchen for the next task. And this is a task that I've never really had to deal with before, personally, but it must happen all the time. And that is if you lose something down your drain. So your kitchen drain, your bathroom drain, your tub, sink, whatever. I'm gonna show you guys how to retrieve stuff and how sinks are designed to be able to retrieve stuff that goes down your drain. Let's say this wing nut is your grandmother's wedding ring that's priceless. We'll just do a couple more. We've got quite a few wedding rings, some lost treasure, simulate a realistic situation. You're doing dishes, your ring slips off, it goes down the drain. Okay, this is also great if you notice that your sink smells a lot. Your kitchen sink and your bathroom sink, they're designed to be able to take apart because of this very situation. It's called a P-trap. I don't know if it's because it's shaped like the letter P or if it's to capture peas that go down the drain. I don't know. So maybe someone can tell me in the comments. This is your P-trap here. It's the U-shape pipe that sticks down from your sink. It's designed to be taken apart. So some modern P-traps, they have a quick release. So you can unscrew this and all your debris will spill out the bottom. So you're gonna want like a bucket, and we're gonna stick this right underneath the P-trap, and that's gonna contain all the water that spills out. Now I got 2 connections. We got one on the front here, one on the back. See there's a little nub here? It's because this is supposed to be hand tight. And this is crusty, no offense to the homeowners. But I'm gonna undo that. The other one, see, everything is hand tight, no tools required. Okay, and then there might be a splash, okay, starting to spill out. So you know what, I'll just let that drain for a bit. Because the P-trap, while it captures your rings, your diamond earrings, and your peas, it also captures every other food debris that goes down your drain. Okay, that one's done. This one's disconnected. And I'm just gonna wiggle and pull and try to not splash water everywhere. Okay, there we go. Gonna pull it out for the viewers, the money shot here. Okay, we just got the anchor. So Toby, just edit out every other thing we jammed down the sink.
That's the one thing I didn't see. You threw it in too fast.
So obviously, I was not prepared for the double sink situation. So that's why I was trying to run water.
Oh, I'm hearing stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm hearing stuff.
Okay, let's see what we got. We got our wing nut, our anchor, our screw. Look at all this goodness. Okay, so you can clean this, or you can just put it back the way it was. It's up to you. But that is how you take apart your sink to get stuff that you may have lost down the drain. So pretty easy, not very messy, as long as you have a bucket under there.
And if it's not in the P-trap, bring some more water.
Yeah, if it's impossible for the metal to go back up the drain, so it's guaranteed gonna be in the bottom here. And your kitchen bathroom drain has a P-trap as well, and believe it or not, your tub does as well, your shower. But that one is gonna be a little bit harder to access because it's like in your floor or ceiling. You might need to hire a professional for that situation, but for under the sink stuff, that's pretty much as easy as it gets. Okay, so that was a big success. We got every single screw and nut that I put down the drain. Yeah, hopefully it inspires you guys to, rather than freak out and break down crying if your ring fell down the drain, to actually do something about it and get it back. It's really easy. Just have a lot of rags handy, a bucket, stuff that you already have laying around your house. Okay, so the next task we're gonna do is how to clean your windows. Spring is in the air and everyone's spring cleaning, and you look out your window at the beautiful sunshine and you see a lot of dust and debris on your screens, on your window panes. This type of window is really common. I see this in a ton of people's places, or like a variation of it. These windows are actually intended to be, and a lot of other types of windows as well, they're intended to be folded into the room so you can clean the outside of the pane while standing inside. So we've got these two latches here. You pull those latches in, and that folds down. Oh, Jesus. So we're gonna clean this. Usually there's some tabs on these screens. This one doesn't have any tabs, but the screens are always meant to be put in place from the inside, not the outside, so they always come into the room. And Matt and Alessandra are big cookers. Their barbecue is sitting right underneath this window, or this screen could definitely use a good cleaning. So I'm just gonna put these aside, do this one. So this one has tabs. Nice and easy. This one's significantly cleaner because it's not sitting underneath the barbecue. And before we clean the bottom window, you always wanna go top down so that the dirty water doesn't go onto your like clean window that you just did. So my method is I'm gonna take some dish soap, some warm water, good concentration of dish soap. I always put the water first because if you put the soap first, then it'll like bubbles up. So I'm gonna spray the window. Gonna get it nice and like good coverage. You want this liquid to like run down. Then we wanna scrub. And we're just gonna scrub all the corners, all the little nooks and crannies. You can even clean other parts of your window at the same time. But we're just trying to remove like all the dust. And you'll notice that if the sun is shining, the liquid evaporates really quickly. So I just kind of re-wet it. Grab my squeegee and go down the window. The squeegee's a little bit too big for this window, but did a pretty good job. And then I'm gonna go in with a dry cloth and we're just gonna clean up all those edges. Doing the same thing to this window. Okay, squeegee. Go in the dry cloth and just absorb all that remainder. I don't know, I just see what the guys do like on the storefronts and I just copy what they do. Okay, so now that the inside is clean, we're gonna pop outside and clean the outside of it. Same process, no different. My grandma would always say like to use like vinegar and an old newspaper, and I have no idea how the science works behind that. But yeah, that's pretty good. So the inside just needs some more TLC. Okay, and I'm just gonna wash the screens in the sink. The last thing we want to do is like poke a hole through these screens, and then we end up having to rescreen them. So I'm just gonna be gentle, spraying the soap water mixture on here one more time. Grab a little scrub brush. I'm just gonna work my way. This might be overkill, but because their barbecue is located right underneath the window, it's quite greasy, but usually these don't get greasy, they just get dusty. You just get like that atmospheric, like grime, you know? And then the best way to dry them is outside. Like this. But these also don't need to be like perfectly dry because we're just gonna put them back in your window and it'll kind of just dry on its own. You remember what your windows looked like before?
Yes, so cloudy, I couldn't even see my backyard.
Well, now they're a little bit less dirty. Open your eyes.
Holy crap. Graham, it's like there's no window there. They're so clean.
Okay, that's a little extreme. But
Yes, I'm serious.
they still need some TLC. Why is it that there's always like some like a film of something left behind?
I genuinely can't see what you're talking about, so did
No,
you
it's like
see
a little
what they...
cloudy.
Oh, he's going outside.
Does he remember what they looked like before? Because this is insane.
Okay, I'll take it.
You'll take it?
It's good. It's great.
Great job.
Now Alexander can do her dishes and see her yard.
Yeah, I love it. I have a great
Nice.
view now.